Hello?
Hi.
Are you coming to the happy hour? I need to vent.
I'm still at the office.
Oh my god, are you trying to be CEO or something?
Yeah.
You'll get there, but I'll see you at happy hour. Today's guest is the founder and creative director behind the Mushroom Cowboy, Ryan Robinson. The Mushroom Cowboy is a community centered lifestyle brand with a signature event series called The Morning Spin, which brings people together for early morning dancing and connection, a counter to the typical late night scene.
What started as a single tattoo design in 2022 has since grown into a movement. So let's get into it.
Thank y'all for having me.
Mushroom Cowboy, so it started in a very unconventional, unplanned way. Will you take us back to the very first spark and walk us through how it's grown into what it is today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think unconventional is kind of the theme of Mushroom Cowboy, honestly. Essentially, Mushroom Cowboy was born out of a tattoo design, and that tattoo became Mushroom Cowboy, the mascot that everyone sees to this day. My best friend, Maddie, I met her living in Austin, and after a few years of us being best friends, she decided to move to Thailand to teach. And she asked me, because she knows I'm an artist, to design a tattoo for her and wanted it to commemorate Austin and her time here and kind of our friendship as well. And kind of created this funky walking mushroom cowboy figure that's wearing cowboy boots. And right after she got it, I was staring at it and I was like, this is so Austin. Like, this is so, like, I have to do more with this. Like, so many people will love it. And that's really like where that first spark came from.
That's just so random. Like,
It's
who would have
so
thought?
random. Like, honestly, it's not even that, like, I mean, my friend Maddie, if anyone watching this or listening to this knows Maddie, she is like such a cool girl, like so fun, and she's so tatted, has like the cool girl like patchwork tattoos. Like, I could never pull off my own design. Like, I could never pull off the mushroom cowboy tattoo, but Maddie pulls it off perfectly. And it is just such a funny story that, like, what a lot of people know as mushroom cowboy today came from something like that.
You're so right where it is so Austin, because when I think of Austin, like you have the traditional Texas feel, you have like, cowboy boots, but you also have that like LA infused kind of lifestyle, or it's just
Mhm.
such a mix. And it really is like a mascot for Austin. And I love that. Can you tell us a little bit about how did that really transform into a brand and then into like the event space, because that is such a pivot and I'd love to hear that
Yeah.
story.
So a little backstory about me. I have been an artist for like my whole life, but really been running an art business for legitimately like over 10 years now, which is really crazy to say. I'm getting old. It's so scary. But with that being said, all of my background in art and running that business is really what helped me build the Mushroom Cowboy. But also, because I already have this other art business, I knew I had to make the Mushroom Cowboy very separate and very different from, I guess, my personal brand. So I knew I wanted to share the Mushroom Cowboy design. And I started out with art, obviously, because that's what I know best. I started making prints and making some cute little paintings with it. And then after like a year, I finally learned a lot about the apparel business and started putting it on some hats and t-shirts. And it kind of started there. Very, very slow, very small. But I was like, what am I doing? Like, I think that the apparel, industry is so saturated. And I was like, I don't really want to just be making clothes. I want this to be bigger than that. I want it to be something that has more meaning, that actually connects people together. And so that's where events came in. And took another year to kind of think through that and strategize about what that would look like. And January of this year, 2025, is when we started the Morning Spin, which was really just, our first step into the event space and our first activation to really get people together under the Mushroom Cowboy umbrella and start making the community.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Was there anything specific that sparked like doing it in the morning?
Yes. So, I mean, the name Mushroom Cowboy, okay? Like, we have so many people that come up to us at events and they're like, where are the mushrooms? Like, do y'all sell mushrooms? And we're like, no,
Yeah.
sorry. So, like, obviously the name Mushroom Cowboy, some people, their heads go directly to drugs.
Mhm.
And when I was like thinking and strategizing about events, I was like, okay, like the night space is kind of off the table. Like, I don't want to be associated with drugs. Maybe one day, like, we'll sell some, functional mushrooms. But right now, we're just, art apparel community. That's what we're focused on.
Yeah.
And really, that's like where it came from. Like, I was worried about, what we're associated with. And so also like an unconventional way that we were born, I was like, let's do something unconventional. Like, let's still have that same, high energy, loud music, but let's just do it in the morning. And then there's no pressure of drinking. People can actually talk to each other. People can see each other. People can drink coffee. It's more inclusive for people that maybe don't drink. It just all made sense. It all started clicking together from there.
Wow, that's really a great story. And I can so see that's so funny that people come up thinking that it's I think that's such a cool factor that you're actually like, "No, not at all."
I
Or
know.
something completely different, but it probably attracts so many people, that's awesome.
It definitely does. It raises a lot of questions. I wish I could perfectly reenact the way people come up to our merch booth sometimes.
Where the
Honestly
mushroom
feel like it's like a Valley Girl where she's like, "What's Mushroom Cowboy?" And we're like,
I'm dead.
"Yeah." But I get it. It's a funky name, funky character. We get a lot of questions, but it's fun.
That's, like, great, though. It's perfect for your branding because, like,
Mhm,
that's how you stand out in today's
mhm.
today's world of,
Yeah.
Very true, very true. Yeah.
you know.
And something that I think one of y'all's biggest strengths for sure is how you show up on social media. And I know you mentioned that you'd worked in social media before.
Yeah.
And how has that played into, launching this brand and how has it shaped your creative direction? And like what are your thoughts on social media in the event space?
Great questions. Yeah. So my background, I think, as I've mentioned, is in marketing. Right out of college, I jumped into the social media space. I worked for a small agency here in Austin as their social media director. And I basically was helping small businesses with their socials as a third party. And I think a big struggle working as, a third party social media director was not having full control over the brands. Like I could only help them so much. And that was extremely frustrating. And any social media managers, people that work in social media, they'll get me. It is so frustrating sometimes with clients when you don't really have that full control that you need. So I was able to kind of take, what I've learned in the space with my art business, but really I hit the ground running when I started Mushroom Cowboy because it was so separate from me. Nobody really knows that I still to this day that it's ran by a girl, run by me. It's really for the people. And I kind of took that as like, all these ideas I've had for my clients that I wasn't able to execute, I threw at Mushroom Cowboy. And I spent 6 years in that industry and I feel like, when I quit and took Mushroom Cowboy full time, I was able to finally like blossom and, apply everything to something that I have, free will with.
Yeah. Brands
Yeah.
need to listen to that. It's like the power of just not controlling like when you work with someone or you're working with an agency on social media, like you need to trust them and it's all about trust. I mean, like the riskiest ideas too are usually the ones that take off. And so I love
Hmm.
how you put that energy towards the Mushroom Cowboy and like how it really did take off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been really fun. It's fun being in control.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, and also you're the one who approves, all the tiny little details that in, like, a
Hmm.
normal setting, you would have to, like, wait for
Yeah.
Exactly.
it to go
Yeah.
through 5 people in order for you to post it
Right.
or something.
Right, like, for example, with our clients, like, trend is hot for, like, maybe one day, and
Exactly.
we would never be on time because it takes so long to get approval, and,
Yeah.
that's obviously one downfall of agency life, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
funny. I'm curious, like, what goes into your planning process for these events? Like, how do you decide where you're gonna host it, who you're gonna collab with, who you're gonna invite, all of the things?
I mean, when we started the morning spin, I legitimately thought it was gonna be me and my friends. I didn't think anybody was gonna show up. I thought it was gonna be such a fail, and our first event, we had 500 people.
Oh my god.
It
My
was
God.
crazy. We had a couple of videos go viral. Also going back on the social media side of things, like, I just hit the ground running basically. But how that first opportunity came around was just businesses believing in us. I mean, that first business that responded to a cold email of mine was Manana, which is part of the South Congress Hotel here in Austin. They're such a nice team and they really just believed in us from the start and like let us come in. and do our thing. And that's kind of still what it takes to this day is just good people and good businesses that want to work with us. I always say I wish there were more hours in the day and more days in the year because there are so many amazing businesses and artists and, so many people that we want to work with, but there's just not enough time.
Yeah. Really?
We get a lot of inquiries at this point from local businesses and even businesses outside of Austin for us to go pop up, but not enough time. But at this point, it's just about good people, and if they want to work with us and they have the right space, and I think a lot of people know that this started in coffee shops, and we quickly outgrew that, and now we'll kind of pop up anywhere if they have a big enough space where we can bring as much people as we can, and then we'll kind of bring in a third party for coffee. It's kind of what we do now, but yeah, I would say it really centers around just good people. Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
awesome. I love Manana. I used to go there in college
Really?
and, like, try to
It's the
study there.
best.
I feel like Austin is such a perfect space for this because, South Congress in itself is so, like, community led, it feels like. It's,
Mhm.
besides, like, all the bigger brands that have flooded that area of it, but,
Yes.
it used to be, like, so many, like, little small neighborhood shops,
Right.
everyone's super connected, you know your neighbors, so it's rooted in that, which is amazing.
Mhm.
So, you're in a great space for that, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, there's so many great spots in Austin now, and, um, it makes our job easy. It makes it
Yeah,
easy for sure.
that's great.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you say that you're gonna host an event, like, do you, like you blast it on social and then you just, like, hope that people come, or do you, like, put out, like, Partiful or something like that?
Everything is just through our own channels.
Yeah.
So typically our schedule is just post an event 2 weeks before. We try to do free events, but our free events can be super crazy and like super long lines, which is not fun for guests. So ticketing is always a little bit more pleasant for those attending.
Mhm.
But yeah, usually like 2 weeks in advance, we just post on Instagram, post on TikTok, and we put tickets up for sale on our website, and they're typically gone within the first day to 2 days if we sell tickets. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't think I've really like grasped how crazy that is because I know that's just kind of how it's been from the start. And this is my
Yeah.
first time throwing events, but I'm slowly registering that that is
Yeah,
crazy,
that's
crazy
very cool.
numbers.
And
Yeah.
I'm curious too from like a revenue standpoint, are you making the money from ticket sales or
That's a
just
good
things
question.
at the events?
So when like the first like 2 or 3 months that we were doing events, we were losing money, like 100%. We just wanted to get the community together and it didn't really matter about making money. And it still isn't about making money because we have other revenue sources. But when we have a free event, I'm more so losing money because I'm taking out of my pocket the fees for paying a DJ, the fees for equipment, the fees for like signage, all that stuff. But when we do have tickets, that basically just like covers all those costs. So then we kind of even out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that also makes sense. Like wanting to sell the tickets over doing a free event, it's gonna make the experience better for the guests.
Hmm.
And I think that's smart. And also, I mean, I think it's so interesting too because they're during the day. And
Yeah.
so Um, and and are they usually indoors or outside in public? Like, or do you do a mix?
We've done inside a couple times. There's a really great venue here in Austin called Tiger Lily. It's like this 3-story bar. It's a bar fully, but they have a ton of space in there, and we've had events there
Awesome.
twice. And coincidentally, both of those times it's been raining outside, so it worked out perfect. But we do prefer to be outside just because the vibes are so much better. It's the morning. It's really usually nice weather. I will say right now in Texas, it is blistering
So
hot.
hot. I'm
So
sure.
we have now actually switched our activation to be the spin and swim, which is
How cute.
essentially like the same thing, but we're poolside, so everybody can cool off a little bit.
I love that.
But yeah, I will say outside is always better, just better vibes.
Totally. I mean, so you're a business owner, and some parts about owning a business are not fun.
Yeah.
Are there anything that, was surprising or a learning curve or, how have you navigated some of these things like, maybe the legal aspect or certain copyright information? How did you tackle that?
That is a great question. I think, learning as you go is really a theme here as well. Especially in like the Mushroom Cowboy world, like in my own art business world, I kind of have all of that figured out, but Mushroom Cowboy is so different. Like I remember our first few events, I had lawyers coming up to me just out of pure generosity, being like, "Hey, like, is this trademarked? Like, you need to make sure this is trademarked." And I was like, "No, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't need to do that." But I do, and I did. They were like, "Yeah, like somebody will just snatch that like that. Like somebody will just steal the Mushroom Cowboy logo and steal the name." I think that was very quickly one thing I learned about, I guess, the brand side of things, and that you really need to make sure you have things trademarked and copyrighted and all of that legal stuff.
Yeah.
And I still don't really understand it all. I kinda just delegated that to the professionals, but it is very real that big businesses steal from small businesses, so you gotta keep an eye out and make sure that you're protected.
Yeah.
Totally. I always see TikToks and, like, people are saying there's one girl, she's like, "Come with me to Brandy Melville and look at the design
Oh,
that they
yeah, I
stole,"
saw
like
that. Yeah,
but, like, it's true and it's crazy.
I know.
They don't
I
care,
mean,
these big
yeah, I mean,
brands.
that literally happened because she didn't trademark her stuff, you know?
Yeah. We're in the process of trademarking our podcast as well, and, like,
See?
it
Yeah.
kind of
It's like,
pushes you a little bit more too of like, "Okay, this thing is real." Like, gotta
it's
keep
legit. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's sad that you have to do that so people won't steal your work. It
Yeah.
should
I
just
know.
be like like, you know? But, yeah, that is something I had to learn, and then I think, like, another thing on the event side, I'm learning as I go is definitely all of the insurance around events and all the
Yeah.
permitting that you need to do. There's a lot that goes into events and that, just people don't see, or at least that I didn't even know of before I started this. And so just definitely learning a lot around the event side, even in, the DJ world and paying DJs and making sure, they have everything on their riders and all that stuff. There's a lot
Wow.
to learn. Yeah.
That is a lot.
It's crazy. I didn't even think about the permit thing, but, like, it makes so much sense. Of course you need a permit.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, most of the venues and partners that we work with already have permits because
Yeah.
we're just in their space. But for some events that we have coming up, for example, we're actually like building out a space. And so then we have to get involved with the city and get permits, and it's a whole thing and it's stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to, when we first met you, you talked a bit about how, you've quit jobs, gone back to 9 to 5s. What was that like going through, some of those crossroads, and how did you know when to take those leaps and how they kind of just played into your career journey?
Yeah. I mean, I've always had this like entrepreneurial mindset, like even in, my agency life when I was working a 9 to 5, like I always knew that I could do it better myself. Like I had this like gut feeling that I was just like kind of behind jail cell, like I was in a jail cell almost, that like I was kind of locked in, like couldn't express myself or do everything to my full power, if that makes sense. And I quit the first time after 4 years, 4 years after college, and I decided that I wanted to take art full time. And at that point, I just had a gut feeling, and I was like, I know if I like never do this, then I'll never do it. Like if I don't take a leap, like I'll just keep pushing it back, keep pushing it back. And so I quit my job and did art full time. And then it's not that I like didn't work out, but it didn't work out. Like I just like wasn't the exact right time.
Mhm.
And I really don't know why looking back. I think I just wasn't that strategic about it, as strategic as I could have been, I guess. So I went back to my 9 to 5 and I worked there for 2 more years. And then this past May is when I left again. And this time it's the same feeling. Like you just have this gut feeling that you need to go and it's time. And still looking back, I honestly think 2 years ago, or maybe it was 3 years ago now. Wow, like 3 or 4 years ago when I quit the first time, like, I feel like that phase in my life was even more for personal reasons. Like, I
Mhm.
didn't need that 9 to 5 at that point in my life. Like, I needed to just be at home painting.
Yeah.
And I really believe in, like, divine timing and more or less that everything happens for a reason. And although, like, taking art full time, like, it wasn't the right time for that, there was still, an important reason for that, like, phase in my life. And I still believe in that even right now with, having quit my job in May.
Yeah. I love this, and it's such an important thing for people to hear, especially as they're entering the workforce and stuff after college or whenever it may be, because it can be really easy to, like, get really caught up in the 9 to 5 world or, like, be at a company and give so much of your time, and it's important to know, like, maybe there's something out there for you, like, more on the independent route, or maybe you could be putting
Mhm.
all that work and potential into something to start yourself, and it's important to know, like, it is possible,
Yeah.
and that is great, and, you got great experience from your past jobs, and it's really cool that too, that you have this art career because, like, I think what's really interesting in this day of age, I think, is how important creativity is into starting a business. Like, I think well, it depends what industry, but most industries, like, creativity is so necessary
Mhm.
because marketing is more important than ever, and the way you're standing out on social media or just in all kinds of digital marketing is really through, like, being creative. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's awesome that you have that strong art background.
Yeah, and I'm, like, so grateful that I was even able to quit my job and support myself for that long. I think more than anything, it taught me grit. Like, everything in those 6 months that I was working for myself with just art, like, everything I learned is how I'm able to do what I'm doing right now, like, fully. So, again, like, everything happens for a reason, and just so grateful that I experienced that.
Yeah.
Totally. Wait, so you went back to your job that you previously had after you
Yes.
had quit. So
And
how did that
actually,
go down?
it's so funny. So, like, it wasn't even me that decided to go back to work. Like, I was kind of, like, roughing it out, like, I was broke. Like, every single piece that I sold was just going to my rent, essentially, and I, like, couldn't do that many things with my friends, and I wasn't used to
Mhm.
that. Like, before I was making a salary, and then I
Yeah.
had my art money, and my art money was kinda my fun money. That's what I would shop with and go out with, whatever. But when I realized that, doing art full time wasn't working out, that same week, my old boss called me, and
Oh my
I know, and I, like, didn't even I wasn't gonna reach out to him. I didn't really wanna go back there, if we're being completely honest, and he called me and, we still kept a good relationship, and he was just like, "Hey, Ryan, like, I know you're doing your art thing, but, like, what do you think about coming back? Like, we really need you." And rightfully so, because I did build their full social media department, and
god.
things kind of went to shit when I left, which is also very flattering at the same
Yeah.
time, but it was perfect timing. My old boss reached out and asked if I wanted to come back and gave me a little pay raise, and, I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I'll come back," and I always kind of knew I was gonna leave again, and this year was just perfect timing.
That's great. I mean, that also falls into everything happens for a reason, right? So,
I
you
know.
know, it's really odd when those calls come up because you're totally not expecting it at all. And when you're like going through the process, you have this weird gut feeling where you're like, I don't know if I should do this, but like, I want to do this, but I'm scared, but I should definitely do that. It's that push and pull.
Yes.
And it's such like a high that you get on whenever these things happen. But
Mhm.
it's you have to trust the universe and things happen because 'cause they're supposed to.
I know. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Ryan, I just wanna, like, applaud you because your brand is really amazing, and I know, like, you're so ambitious, and I bet that you don't reflect all the time and say, "Wow, like, I've really made it," but you really have, like, you've started
No,
something
stop, I'm
so
actually gonna
incredible.
cry.
No, but, like, I'm
That's
what
so
the
nice.
second I came across, the Mushroom Cowboy and, like, heard about it from my friends, I was like, "This is, like, really amazing, and it's a really strong concept, and, like, it's gonna take off." It already has taken off, and it's
That's
awesome.
so nice, that's so kind. Wow, thank you.
You're
I mean, I think that's everyone's dream to hear something like that, but for I think, like, really any entrepreneur or someone that works for themselves, like, you've never really made it, like, I will always just still, like,
Totally.
grind, and honestly, that's not okay, like, we shouldn't think like that, like, we need to be easy on ourselves,
Yeah.
and to anyone listening that may also be, like, self-employed or, an entrepreneur, like, "You got this," and, like, be nice to yourself, but no, really, thank you. That's, like, so fucking nice, and
Of
just
course.
made
Oh my
my
gosh.
whole week, made my whole week.
We love to see Texas girls, like, doing things out there.
I know. It's fun. It's fun.
Totally. Wait, I'm curious, like, what's your main demographic? Like, who's coming to your events?
That is a great question. Okay, I love this question because I don't think anybody like, let me ask y'all, who do y'all think is coming to the morning spin?
I would say people in their 20s, college,
Huh?
maybe some millennials as well. I'm kind of a mix of Gen Z millennials.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it's a mixed bag, like and I feel like everyone who's there is,
It's
like, doing totally different lines of work, like, you
mhm.
said, like, some lawyers were there, like, you probably have, like, your super corporate people, but then you also have your really creative Austinites, and, like, I'm just so curious about this, like, mix of this group of people,
Yeah.
if we're
Okay.
right.
No, y'all are so right, and actually, I'm really glad that it's been portrayed that way because I don't know, I guess, like, what it looks like from the outside in.
Mhm.
But y'all are exactly right. It is the most phenomenal mix of people, and I can't really think of any other event happening right now that is that inclusive to like all ages, all different
Right.
walks of life. Like we do have a lot of college kids. We have kids in their younger 20s, late 20s, and then we have the millennials. We have the families. We have little kids when they're allowed to come.
Yeah.
Some of our events are 21 plus, but um, it is such a mix of people. And we also have, our sober friends that just want to drink the coffee and, um, just dance and listen to good music. And then we have the people that are hungover. Like, let's be
Yeah.
real. Like it's Saturday morning and they need a mimosa and they're all coexisting and it is just the best space ever.
That's awesome.
It's the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I also think about the nightlife scene, and I think that more than anything, in my opinion, like, I'm sometimes scared to go out at night, like, just thinking of safety and, like,
Oh, for
why I really
sure.
found
Yeah.
love
That's
with
so real.
the morning spin is, like, it's such a better alternative for people who don't like to stay out late and, you
Hmm.
know, have more energy in the morning. It seems like
Hmm.
it's might be easier to kinda bond with your friends, during the
For
daytime.
sure. I mean, selfishly also, that's kinda why I started it, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm rapidly getting older, and I can't go out like I used to.
I know, same.
Going out in the morning and, like, hanging out in the morning is so fun. It's the move, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, that's amazing. You're it's so interesting where like community is like post pandemic. I feel like I don't know if you agree, but like slowly and slowly we're getting back to where people actually want to like
Yeah,
interact and like crave this community
I would agree.
which, like, you're creating, which is amazing, and, like, it's hard to find these types of communities. We're just talking, we're like, where are these networking events that, like, we as young people can go to and, like, talk to
Mhm.
other people who are doing the same thing as us? It's hard to find. Um,
It is, yeah. I mean, I don't were y'all in college during COVID?
yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all were? So, I was just 1 year not even a year out of college during COVID.
Mhm.
And I think we all kind of felt that. Like we had major community, I mean, especially in college. Like,
Yeah.
and we kind of went from that like big community, like seeing your friends every single day to like not seeing anyone. And then you
Yeah.
like, at least me, like I kind of forgot how to like talk to people. Like I felt like an introvert and that's not
Totally.
me naturally. So, yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
It's just it's so crazy, like, I don't know, I never really think about this that deeply, and now I am, so I'm like, "Wait, what?"
I know. It's real though. It's real. I mean, it really changed us like as a
It did.
society and it's really scary, honestly.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
spooky.
I think about the COVID times, and although it was, like, such a terrible time, but also, like, it gave me more freedom with work and balancing work and school, or it kind of, like I wasn't able to I, like, worked a lot while I was in school, but I wouldn't have been able to if I didn't have, like, online classes. I went to school in New York, so they were, like, really strict about when we could go back in person. So it
Mhm.
was just, like, such a weird time, but I think back to it and I'm, like, a little bit grateful because it allowed me to, like, do a lot more jobs and stuff out there.
Mhm.
But it's crazy to, like, reflect right now that it's been literally 5 years since COVID, like, it just is crazy.
No,
That's
it's
so
insane.
scary. I know. And it feels like really now, like after 5 years, like we're kind of just now starting to feel normal again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
seriously.
yeah, that's crazy
Yeah.
because that's how
But
much it affected us, you know?
it flew by that time, like, just now thinking and looking back to it.
Mhm.
But I still remember the fear being like, "Is life ever gonna be normal again?" Like, you just grow up thinking we live in this perfect world, like, nothing like that could ever happen.
Yeah, I know, we literally
Yeah.
thought we were invincible.
Yeah. Now we know that a
It literally
pandemic can
felt like the
shut
world
down.
was ending, like, it was
Yeah.
crazy. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Oh my god.
So funny.
I
Well,
know.
Ryan, so you still also do your personal art on the side with
Mhm.
while running Mushroom Cowboy. And how do you balance the two of them? Like, is, your personal branding, your personal art, is that kind of like your, like, not therapy, but, like it makes you feel good and it's good for your mental health? Um, there an importance for you for like balancing the two and making sure that you're still, working on your personal brand while also putting so much effort into Mushroom Cowboy? What does that look
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, 100%. When I had a 9 to 5, it felt like I was working 3 jobs, and
Mhm.
it was so overwhelming. Like, I
Yeah.
worked 10 AM to 5 PM, social media director. Sometimes I'd wake up, be working way before that on art or, like, Mushroom Cowboy stuff, and then right when I got home from work, I would start working on Mushroom Cowboy stuff, or I'd start painting, or, like, I was just so busy all the time, I was so burnt out. Now it really feels like Mushroom Cowboy is like my 9 to 5, and art is definitely still a business, but also like so therapeutic and so important for me to keep doing. I would say like the first, honestly, like 6 months of this year have been so Mushroom Cowboy focused that I haven't had a lot of time for art.
Mhm.
And I always feel it in those periods when I'm not painting because it's so therapeutic. It always has been. And it's always just been a plus that I've been able to sell my work because no matter what, I'd be painting anyways. And I'm super grateful for that because having it be a business has also helped me to continue to paint. So, um, yeah, hopefully that makes sense. But
Yeah.
it's definitely a lot easier now to balance the two.
I love it.
Totally. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing, it's like when you have a real 9 to 5 and then you're trying to do something on the side, it's you never your brain is never off.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
you leave work, then you're thinking about your side hustle, and then you go to sleep, but then you're dreaming about work, and then you wake up and
yeah.
you go to work. It's
I
like
mean,
a
I
never-ending
would go
cycle.
home during my lunch break and, like, I would, like, eat at my desk in the office, like, before, and then I'd run home, I'd, like, take photos of merch for, like, an Instagram post, or I'd record a video real quick and I'd edit it and post it, like, I'd always spend that 1 hour, like, no minutes gone to waste, like, I'm just doing everything, I was hustling like crazy.
Curious, like, how big is your team at the Mushroom Cowboy? Do you have partners in the business?
That's a great question. I mean, when I say that it's a team effort, it is a team effort. And the only official person on the Mushroom Cowboy team is my best friend, Sydney Kossib, and she is our director of operations. It is just us two. We're a two-woman team, and it's really crazy and very flattering that everyone thinks that we're this really huge company, but we're not. We're very small.
Do you see in the future, like, is that part of y'all's growth plan to hire and just take on more people or
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's already to a point now where we need help.
Yeah.
It's been like that for a long time. But when I say it's a team effort, like, it is my family coming in from Houston every
Oh,
weekend that we have an event. It's, like, all of our best friends that help at events. Like, we have, like, such a great community around us. Even all the people that come to events and, the DJ community, like, it is such a team effort. Everyone around us helps do this thing.
that's great.
It's yeah, we have a lot of help around us, so we're super grateful.
I'm
Yeah.
sure your family is, like, so proud.
My family's the best, like, people at events started recognizing my mother at the, Mushroom Cowboy events. Several months ago, this man just came up to her and was like, "Mama Mushroom," like, just started calling her that, and people started calling her Mama Mushroom, and so I threw, like, a, team party for, like, just all the people that have helped us, like, a couple months ago, and I surprised my mom with this T-shirt that says
Oh
Mama
my gosh,
Mushroom,
that's
and we
so
all started crying, like, it was so sweet, and
I
now she
love
wears
that.
it to every event, and people are obsessed. It's
That's
so
really
funny.
cute.
So cute.
I
I
know.
love that.
But yeah, I'm so grateful for my friends and family, like, I don't pay them because 'cause they're my friends and family, and
Yeah,
I basically forced them to help me, but I love them, and I hope they know that obviously, I wouldn't be here without them, so I'm super
it's
grateful.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, what's upcoming for Mushroom Cowboy? I mean, do you have anything that you can share that you're super excited about that's coming up or, any dream collabs, partnerships? stuff like that?
We have so much planned. I mean, I think Izzy said it earlier that like your brain never turns off. Like my brain never turns off. I'm always thinking about what's next and what's in store. I think the first thing on the agenda is to get out of Austin. We're not leaving Austin. We're going to stay here, but we want to keep sharing the morning spin with other cities. So, I mean, I guess I should say it. Like we are going to be in New York City.
Woo!
So
So
keep an eye
exciting.
out for that. That is something that we're so excited for. And that is also like a bucket list item that we had for like 2 years down the road. We were like,
Oh my
okay,
god.
and it's happening this year, which is nuts.
So
The
exciting.
other thing that we've been working on is a new merch collection. So that will
Fun.
be coming out this fall. And we're super stoked for it. And we have a lot of events planned for the fall surrounding that new collection. So it's going to be so fun. We're
Yay.
really just not going to slow down and we plan on, expanding and, doing a lot more.
So exciting.
Yeah, we're so excited.
I'm so excited to just watch your growth.
I know,
It
me
feels
too.
like
Oh,
super
you
incremental,
guys.
which is awesome.
Well, I'm so excited that like y'all can come to one and like see it in person,
Yeah,
hopefully. That'll be so fun.
totally. I can't wait.
Well, we kind of like to wrap it up with this one question. So, Ryan, what is your personal formula for success?
Personal formula for success. There's 3 things for me that really help my success. Creativity. I'm just a naturally creative person, and I think that will always be something at my core. Consistency, showing up for yourself every day, that's super important, and also just self-trust, trusting yourself every single day. This is like such an important question to me. Um Okay, creativity is obvious. It's my art and my ideas and the way that I see the world. Consistency is what turns that creativity into something tangible over time, even the days that I don't feel inspired. And like even when I'm like running or like when you don't want to work out or like you're in a bad mood, be consistent and like just do it. Like just take a walk, just go for the run because like you'll always feel better afterwards. Like being consistent will always make you feel better no matter what. I think
Yeah.
that's so important. It's something that I've learned in my career. And self trust, obviously, is the anchor, especially as an entrepreneur and, a self employed girly. That is the anchor. You have to show up and believe in yourself every single day because imposter syndrome is so, so real.
Mhm.
And like going back in the corporate world, I really learned that the corporate world can just kind of really drain you. You pour yourself into a system that doesn't always see you. And sometimes you really can feel like you're just a number. Um, and not always cared for. And that really sucks. So when you bet on yourself, you know that you can show up every single time and there's no doubt that, you're going to get whatever you need to get done. That's something that you can control and you can trust your own skills and trust that your skills will take you further. It's not based upon your boss's approval.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Yeah. Thank
Yes.
y'all. This is so much fun. And I'm so happy that I got to meet you girls
I
and
know.
so equally
Yeah.
so proud of y'all and what y'all are building here with
Thank you.
I know, but you'll get there.